It is Friday, 9:57 a.m. and I did have a few ideas. I haven't traded anything, but I did want to go over the few setups that I thought were a potential. This thing could be, even though it was only up one day, this could be like a bounce setup. I just don't like how I had a previous run up. It just went 2 days and then it sold off, so that isn't really in my favor. But I did like how the other day, the first green day, it did close at this 385 level, very close. This is actually the high, but it closed at 38.38. And then this day right here, it immediately started to uptrend from that point on, and it actually made a very nice morning spike. I wasn't a part of it, but it was very aggressive. But again, this was something I could have traded in the future. I did see. Oh, okay. It looks like I actually recorded that trade. I did not like the price action at all. And I don't like how it was looking nice, and then, it can still uptrend, but it just started the trade with a really wide spread of 2 cents, and that kind of really threw me off. I was barely in the setup. I just didn't like it. I do like my entry. I was in at 9:59. I guess I don't really have to go over it since it just happened, but you can call this a scalp, but that wasn't my intention. I just didn't like how it started the trade with a spread. Let's see if we can get this 34 guy out. Doesn't matter that I'm not in it anymore. I just felt uncomfortable. I could have sold half of my position too, but then it just looked really ugly. I just wanted to get out of it. And this thing can easily just sell off like it did this day right here, but maybe this can be something different. I thought I stopped recording. I literally thought that, but as for the other setups, I was interested in GESI for a morning panic bounce play, but I just didn't have the volume. GTOR, I wouldn't have really considered it for one, even though it kind of looks like it did something like that. And the range would have been nice, 59 to the 66 level, but again, this one just doesn't have the volume. And I was watching it to see if it would dip under VWAP and then get above it like it did here and then be a bit stronger, but it never did it and it sold off, so yeah, I was in this at 34.24 at 9:59 right here. 34.24 near the top because it was looking like it was going to turn around, but I didn't like the price action. I got out at 35 the next minute, which is right here near the top. I just didn't like the way it was trading all of a sudden. Maybe, it looks better now and it can do it, but I don't mind that I at least tried it. And the problem with this setup is that, this thing has a lot of room towards the bottom. And while it can work, everybody and their mom is going to be risking this 32 level breaking, maybe 30. But like if this thing breaks, there's going to be a lot of selling price action. And this one with a wide spread it can do sometimes, this thing can be really ugly. But I want to see if it can make a move towards VWAP. That would be pretty impressive if it does. Maybe I could have sold half of my position at 35 and then risk the other half and cut it if it breaks this 32-ish level. And right now the goal will be for it to break this 35.64 level. Anything above 35 really. And there's a big bidder here at 34.79. It's actually not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, I think this one will make a move. Even if I'm not in it. I'll make an update as to what this one does, but it looks like it could try, at least with this big bidder. This makes it a lot nicer. Okay, it is 10:08 a.m. The setup, at least for now, did fail. I'll have no interest trading this unless it does something super obvious in the level 2, or if this thing can make an inverse head and shoulder. So maybe this is the shoulder, this could be the head, maybe the big bidder at 29 will support it, it makes it move towards the upside, and then it does a downtrend, then I can be in for that inverse head and shoulders, which would also be like a higher low, so a little bit more confirmation that the thing can actually do something towards the upside. As of right now, I don't want to trade it. It is 11:28 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm up just a little bit, $1.14, because that was a scratch trading WSFT. The setup did not work out, and that was back when I was trading it way over here on this first dip. It didn't get to VWAP, which would have been the goal. I did get out for a profit, but it was a small amount because it didn't get to where I wanted it to be. And I did trade a small amount of shares because I thought this thing could really panic, and I thought worst case scenario, maybe I'll be out at this 20-cent level. After all, it did have a previous run up and it sold off pretty massively. And because this thing trades with a spread and the volume isn't really that great sometimes, it could have totally done something like that. I did see this price action. I never traded it. And I was waiting for inverse head and shoulders and never really did one. Although it did get to VWAP later, which is cool, from this 29 level to 36. That's a lot of range. And I don't mind missing this one. It's not like it was around 11 a.m. It was much later in the 12, but it did make a move towards VWAP, and maybe this is something that I could have tackled if it was at least up 3 days in a row. And that was really about it. There wasn't really anything else I was interested in. Although I think this could have been cool, I just don't know how much of a spread it was, or if it was clean, this drop here with SYXX. That's about it. One scratch trade with WSFT. That's all I have for today.